Hey there, it's Molly with Design Lives Detail. Today we were talking faux trees. This was a highly requested video and kind of how I pot them to make them look higher end and more real. Stay tuned. So let's start with faux trees. I have a few different ones today. I'll try and link everything that I can. A few things might not be available online, but I'll try and tell you where they're from. So as we go through, feel free to leave questions too, but hopefully I cover it all. These are some of my favorite faux trees, just a few that I've had for a little while, and they're kind of varying heights. This guy left in the box for you because it showed up like this. Did the FedEx guy like drop kick it? I don't know because it came like that. So we're gonna talk about if this happens, if you get a tree like this. I mean, it had a pot that is a goner. We're gonna take care of this and make it better. But also, that sucks that it came broken. This is a successful video so far. Pots, here are a couple. This is one of my favorites. I like to use pots that have some height to them because it's gonna let us do a little trick that I use often with faux trees. I will share that soon, stay tuned. Also this room here, in this living room, so I don't forget, we shared this update recently, a few videos back. It has a lot of good new products in there linked if you are curious about anything you see here. Oh yeah, I pulled the ottoman out. We have a leather ottoman that's normally here, but I needed the floor space, so I can show you my stuff today. So another pot, this is a real vintage one, spendy, but really pretty. And having the wider mouth on these is really good for if your tree has a bigger base. Over here is one more that we're gonna actually use as a planter. I use it for blanket storage too, but I've used this as a planter and it's really cool. So I will share that as well. And here are some of the nicely laid out rocks. I like rocks. These are from the dollar store. So we'll be investigating all of these. And what I use these rocks for, you'll see soon, is to go at the top of the planters. But we have to do a few steps before that. But let's take a look, because I actually haven't even looked at these. These are pretty good. These are from the dollar store. So those are actually pretty good. The dollar store is now $1.25, at least around here. Is your dollar store like that? All right, so these guys here, we got some white and black rocks. These are from Target. These were 10 bucks a bag. So really, we should actually compare. I'm gonna do you a good comparison here. So this is $10 of rocks from Target. This is $10 of rocks from Target versus $1.25 of rocks from 125 store. 28 ounces, and this weight is 5.5 pounds. Oh, great, pounds an ounce conversion. Too tired for this. I feel like I'm one of those YouTubers right now that like cuts open things and shows you the inside of it or something. You know what I mean? Okay, so there's 250 of rocks. So actually, this is not a very scientific comparison, but I'm trying to make their piles like the same height. So this is 375 of rocks. This is $10 at Target. I kind of like how these have a little more variation in them, a little more natural. So I'm filling the dollar store rocks if you're going, because 4 bags of these would be $5. If you add one more bag of rocks, it'd be $5 versus 10. So definitely the dollar store is a better deal than Target. We've got that figured out. If you like this more black shiny, though, you would go to Target. These are the same price for these white ones. They're a little more matte finish. Oh, we got some more rocks for you, don't you fret. I don't remember how much it cost. I know it was from Michael's, so I'll put it on the screen. But these are big rocks, so if you want the big kahunas, this is where you want to go, is Michael's, because I did not find these biggies anywhere else. And they have them also in these. These are a little different. This seems inefficient to put them in one of these, but whatever, because that's like 5 rocks. You could probably go find some. You could just search your own rocks if you want. Anyway, this is 10 pounds of rocks in these bags. We'll do some setups, some tree pottings with all these different things so you can see what you like. But there's the rundown for now. The reason that I started doing trees like this, well, you get your faux tree and then you just like stick it in a pot and it can look kind of a fake tree in a pot. So that's why I started trying to make it look a little bit nicer. And I also initially wanted to add some height, and then I was like, hey, wait, if you get a tall pot and you fill the bottom of it, your tree automatically is like it's growing, getting taller. So we're gonna show how I do that because it can save you from having to buy like a really big faux tree, and some of the faux trees that I love don't come in that tall of heights. So we can usually add a good like 6 inches. In this one, I can even add more. So let's do it. I need to grab my catalogs. I just realized I forgot those. So we'll we'll start with this guy. This is a good, got some good height to it. I'll be right back. So catalogs, I have a million. There's a whole other stack right there I found. If you want to do something with them after you've enjoyed them or not, whatever you want, I just stick them into the pot. It kind of gives us a flat surface that's solid. We'll get some more and try and keep it as level as you can. So there you go, catalogs in a pot. The other thing that I use is packing paper. So we're gonna grab our tree. We're gonna go with this guy. And oh, you know what I should have done? Well, you can kind of see. Okay, so here's how tall it would be. There's basically the height of the tree. This one's probably about 7 feet tall, you know, when it's all at its highest point. That's how tall it would be. And then look how much taller we get to make it look by having it on catalogs. So I'm actually gonna lower this just a tiny bit because see how this pot is like lining up with the edge. We still want to have enough it down like about an inch so that we have space to put like rocks and or moss or whatever we're going to use. So definitely I want to lower this just a little bit, but not by a ton. So we'll take out some of these guys, put it in there. The packing paper is what I'm going to use to pack around this to kind of like stabilize it, and also because we don't want to fill this whole thing with rocks, that'd be super expensive. So this is a lot more cost-effective way to do that, and then it's going to also kind of hold this in place because we do have that space around the edge inside the pot. So I got that put in. I'm gonna go grab a little bit more packing paper because we want it to be really tight. I want to just pack it in pretty darn hard, so I will do a little bit more. Okay, so I've gotten this all filled. You can see our trees really like in there. Kept it pretty centered, packed that around nice and tight. And now we get to do the fun part. We're going to add rocks. I'm gonna go with these bigger ones because this is a bigger tree and bigger pot. And so, you know, the scale's good for the larger stuff. And these are gonna also, I mean, this is gonna be super heavy. So one pointer, I wanna say, one tip, is when you are doing this, I would do it where you want your tree to be because it's going to be really heavy once we get all this stuff, you know, packed in there with the rocks, which is great because it's nice and solid and secure and stable, but it would be a struggle to have to carry it. So definitely kind of fill it in place where you want it. So we got those all in there. This is actually 20 pounds of these larger rocks. So 2 packages from Michael's. I kind of shook it a little bit so that they'll kind of settle in nicely. And when you're putting the rocks in, don't be too worried about like which rocks where. If there's particularly large ones, I kind of space those out. But you could see that second bag, I just like dumped it in and it was fine because of course nature is kind of random. So we're always trying to kind of mimic that. So don't get too uptight about everything being perfect. We want a little bit of like natural variation and stuff. There's how that looks. You can see how nice and tall this is now. And definitely with the tall ceilings in this room, it's nice to have more height. And definitely one tip I would say as well is the bigger the tree, the bigger you want to go with your pot. Like this could really be an even bigger pot because you want to be thinking about real trees, and the bigger the tree, the more roots there are. So realistically, you go bigger with your pot with the tree if you want it to look more believable. So that kind of shows you how that looks. I'm gonna stand back for a second and admire. Yeah, it looks good. Looks high end, I think. Definitely more believable than if we were to do something like this. I'm gonna show you kind of what I mean, where we have this pot. This has some random papers in it, but just like, you know, here's this tree in a pot. And if you can see in there like that, where you can see the base of the tree, it doesn't feel as, you know, realistic or high end. So let's make this one beautiful now too. We'll do a little bit different thing. Maybe we'll do the moss in this one. All right, we're gonna move this over the side so you can see it better because Ben said the trees are blending. So here's my stacks of catalogs, and then we're gonna pull this over here so you can see this separate from the other one. Ooh. So here's how it would look if we just had the tree in the pot, height-wise, so you can remember that. Let's get some of these added here. If you don't have catalogs, you could use a box. I'm gonna put this underneath the catalogs because I like how heavy they are, and so I want them to kind of weight this down. Honestly, you can really recycle whatever you can find to use for this because no one's ever gonna see it. All right, that's gonna do it. Perfect. So I don't even need as many catalogs. Oh, we need to get a little bit less because again, we just want to see about an inch below. All right.
But you're hiding.
Let me go get more packing stuff. Actually, I want this a tiny bit lower still. That's it, right there. More random packing stuff. Oops, I sat on the super moss. I probably do still need a little more. We could do cardboard. Maybe I should rip off some cardboard from that Dropkick box. Let me get some more crap. See, I picture it going like this. Like that's what he did. Then it shows up to my house like that. Use these. You know, filled this in pretty good. Still want a little bit more back there. I want to make kind of as flat of a surface as I can for the moss because again, even though the moss wasn't that cheap, but I wanted the good stuff. They do have some moss sometimes at the dollar store, but I didn't see any at mine this time. So this one was from Michael's. Comes with a giraffe picture. It's kind of random, huh? So we're just gonna pack this around. And yeah, this really is the good stuff because it's real moss that's dried. So this can get messy, like I'm getting it on the rug. I know Ben's not gonna love that. I am the creative mind. Oh, this came with pine needle too. We don't want the pine needle, so remove those. But it's looking good, I like it. Yeah, that one's messy, but it will vacuum right up. Get that out of the way so you can admire my work. Looks pretty cute. And with your faux trees, just remember to, like, sometimes you need to like fluff them, especially when they arrive. They pack them so tight for shipping. So always remember that, like making your trees a little more, like spread the branches and leaves out will look more realistic. Those are pretty cute. Maybe we should vote if you like rocks or moss better. Let's vote in the comments on if you guys prefer mossy tree base or a rocky tree base. I like them both. I feel like you should have some variety. Maybe you can incorporate some of each, or if you're just, you know, really like one or the other, then there you go. Let's do that last little guy because I want to show how we can deal with his base problem, that he has no base. So here's this little guy, the one that came with the damaged pot, and I think it can be fun to pot these like more small mid-sized trees in like a bowl. So maybe this one would be cute. This guy needs some fluffing, but we'll deal with that. Or that's cute. Maybe this one. But what's cool is you can do these like on a tabletop. Good for like an entry table. Let me stand back and see if this is cute in here. Yeah, that's cute, right? I like that. But let's see it in this. Maybe this one. Let's see if it'll balance for me. I need to put some weight in there. There we go. That looks cute too, huh? Now I don't know which one to put it in. Maybe we'll go with this one because it's different, but that's a really cute one. Okay, we're gonna put it in here just to do a bowl tree because it's unique and good for like a tabletop. All right, so we need to pack something around that, such as this random plastic. Here's a bunch of grocery bags I'm gonna pack around the base now. So got those packed around there. I'm gonna straighten out the tree when I get the rocks in because sometimes they can be a little bit wonky. But let's go ahead and use, because these are close to the color of the ones that were already attached, like they had some mini rocks. Yeah, we're gonna put the Dollar Tree rocks in. I actually will probably mix a little bit of the Target too because, so we have kind of black and gray going on. These rocks are gonna give some nice weight to this, which is great because this is a lighter weight bowl. And then also the tree with the styrofoam base was pretty lightweight as well. So this is gonna give us some nice heft to it. All right, so this one's maybe leaning just a little, so we're just gonna adjust it just a tiny bit, but it looks pretty darn cute, I think, in that bowl. And if I would have done this one in this gray pot, I would have gone with those white rocks. That would be super cute. Probably just so that there's a little bit of contrast. I like, you know, this having the white bowl with the black rocks, and the gray would have a little contrast with the white. So definitely kind of something to think about if you like things with a little contrast or you want it more subtle. You know, that one with the gray tones, that's more subtle. So yeah, I just kind of like trying different things in adventure. Be brave. There you go. Last one. This lidded basket thing is where we store our blankets, and there's actually some blankets in there that I don't use very often. So we're just gonna leave them because I'm running out of catalogs, but you could fill the bottom of this. This is one I'd probably fill the bottom of with packing paper, you know, up until it gets wider where the catalogs can fit. See, and then once we get up taller, we can fit these catalogs. They're just gonna sit right on top of these blankets, but I would probably have used packing paper instead of blankets, but because I already had a blanket in there and I'm out of packing paper, we're just doing it this way. Normally I don't pot 4 in a row, but we're really just knocking them out today. So we're gonna slide this guy right in here. Pretty nice. So you can see, look at this one. Yeah, this is where I work the miracle. See, this guy, little tiny tree gets nice and big. And then this one, I do need to pack something around because there's still space there. Let me get some, what do we have? Probably more grocery bags. Put some cardboard. We just wanna make them solid so they don't tip. I'm just gonna use grocery bags again to pack around this kind of empty space. And it's nice that our color of bags is mostly white, so we don't have to be as worried about them showing. So we're gonna go with these little babies. These are $10 a bag. Yeah, maybe just need one bag. Just really wanted to show you guys an example. We turned our faux tree forest into a high-end, luxurious faux tree forest. So let me know in comments which one is your favorite now that we've got all these luxurious potted trees about. And any other thoughts you have if you guys have tried other stuff with potting faux trees to make them look nice. Hopefully these tips are helpful. Let me know for sure in comments and by liking the video because that helps us out a ton. Also over on Instagram, be sure you don't miss stories. I wanted to mention too, while I'm thinking about it, there are crazy sales coming up like Black Friday obviously, but Wayfair just announced today they have a Way Day 2.0. They've never done this. It's a second Way Day for this year and it's going to be insane. I think people are really feeling like the increase in prices and so they're trying to bring the deals because people will shop so much more on the sales and the prices are nuts with their Way Day. So I will be sharing that over on community, Instagram stories, as well as my LTK shop if you guys follow over in the LTK app. Anyway, I'll try to cover it everywhere, but just know that there's a whole bunch of deals coming a week from today with the second Way Day, and then also I'll be covering Black Friday a lot too. So lots of incredible prices coming your way, and hopefully you got some inspiration here from the faux tree planting video. We'll see you next time.